hello to the new Maserati GranTurismo. I just picked up my coffee. We're going to be spending some time living with this gorgeous new Italian GT. Nice little startup sequence. The Trofeo. Start buttons here on the left on the steering wheel. Maserati has been very busy updating their whole lineup, starting with the MC20 carbon fiber tub mid-engine supercar, the Grecale, which is a luxury crossover with some performance credentials, and then now this, the GranTurismo. This is technically the mid-tier one, the Trofeo, because we have the Modena at the base, the Trofeo, which is the most powerful gas engine one, but there is a Fagore, the all-EV, the first time we've had an all-electrified Maserati GranTurismo. That technically sits at the top of the lineup, but this one, with the 3-liter twin-turbo Nettuno V6, derived from the MC20, is the top gas model, and that's the one we're going to be spending some time living with. Toggle over the Corsa. You know, this would probably be a good opportunity to try out the second row space. So it's a 2+2, but can a full-size adult fit in the back? So front seat is where I would be sitting. Pull that tab. The seat automatically moves forward a little bit. I just noticed there's a little trident on the seatbelt too. That's a cool detail. Definitely looks nice back here. Still like little bucket seats. All right, let's try to do this in a dignified manner. Oh, okay. Well. Okay, well, so I'm like 6'2", 6'3", and headroom's not great here. My head is stuck up against the window. It is very, very hot. I feel the sun on my hair. Like there's a bump right here from the headliner, but then I get more headroom if I put my head against the glass. Seats coming back. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Stop. Please stop. Ow. Well, it does have back seats, but I'm not riding back here. Oh. Yeah, ow. Ow. Yeah, okay, so my head is going to hit the rear windshield. My forehead is currently behind this little bump in the headliner. I have no legroom to speak of right now. Maybe if the driver was like 5.5 feet tall and you're 6 feet tall sitting in the backseat, that would work. But then why would you not put the 5 foot tall person in the back? Anyways, I'm getting out of here. We'll pull this tab. Whew. Oh. Okay, you have a little pass through to the trunk. Hello. So what are we up to today? We're actually headed to the gym, gonna get a workout in, run some errands. I'm changing my schedule around a little bit. I'm gonna film this later on in the afternoon and evening when the sun is less harsh, less overhead. We want to have some nice lighting to show off this gorgeous paint on this GranTurismo. So first things first, workout, and then we'll see how the rest of the day goes. Man, this thing is brand new, under 1,000 miles, 993 miles. Sport mode, floor it. It like takes a second. It's like the turbo will spool up, then you hit 3,000 RPM, you're like, bye-bye. Oh yeah, also a big change for this generation of GranTurismo. It is now all-wheel drive only. Previous ones were rear-wheel drive, but now this is an all-wheel drive, 8-speed automatic, twin-turbo V6 luxury GT. It's a power open and close trunk. Here's a better look at that startup animation when you close the door. So you get the silhouette, and then a Trofeo logo pops up there in red. So it makes a decently good noise, but definitely not as sonorous as the previous generation GranTurismo naturally aspirated V8, which was definitely one of the best sounding engines out there. That was developed in conjunction with Ferrari, and it was glorious. This is a Maserati twin-turbo V6. Definitely sounds like a twin-turbo V6. Just doesn't quite have the same character as the other one did. When you look at a parking lot full of ordinary cars, it's pretty crazy how much the Maserati stands out. Not because it's a Maserati, just because of this yellow, right? Please, people, order your cars in fun colors. It just makes it much more exciting, right? There are definitely some mainstream brands doing exciting colors. I don't know if I can say this paint is worth $30,000. That's an entire other car, but it is certainly a very, very amazing paint finish. And it becomes even more challenging because I was just driving this Lotus Electra R, which was like a $200,000 electric hyper SUV. Also had a crazy paint with pink and blue pearl flake to it, and it was like a, I think, $2,000 paint finish, right? And there's obviously other paint finishes that are really nice. $30,000 is like I mean, that makes Porsche paint to sample look like a bargain. That's like top tier Ferrari Lamborghini paint option pricing, right? And it comes from the Maserati I can't speak Italian, so to anybody who's Italian watching this, it just got deeply offended due to my horrendous pronunciation. It's like Fuoriserie. It's like their custom personalization palette options, right? That's how you get the crazy paint finishes on these cars. Check out this view. Not a bad day out in California. Finished up a fantastic dinner with a Griffin, and we're taking the Maserati for a canyon drive, Sunset Canyon Drive. Look at that view. Give it a couple more. Right? Yeah, give it a couple more. It's not terrible, but it's not amazing. That's how I feel about it.
It sounds
kind of like you. Not terrible, but not amazing as a driver.
It reminds me of, back in the day, the high school parking lots, the EcoBoost Mustangs.
Oh boy.
Oh
boy, you just compared a $240,000 Maserati to an EcoBoost Mustang.
But hey, if you're blind, one would think, is this an EcoBoost or is this $200K?
Oh, that's
they would know the difference. This is how you tell the difference. Is by smell, because it smells like rich people inside. Okay,
that's the first thing you said when you hopped in. Like, this smells like rich people.
Oh, dude, it smells great. That rich mahogany leather. The hand stitched suede. It's. I'll give it that.
Yeah,
I'll give it that.
Oh, want to get in the back seat? I think you noticed my
Here, I'm gonna film you get in the back seat.
Again? I already did this earlier. So it's okay until you put the seat back and you try to sit up and
It's good.
Oh, my knees. And yeah, my head is wedged in. No, this is no bueno. No, stop. Put the seat back. Do you go legs first or head first?
That's what she said.
That doesn't make any sense. There we go.
Oh my God! Don't run out into traffic
and get run over by a Volkswagen Beetle. That is the most unglorious way.
Oh, dude! How did Eddie go? It was a Beetle.
Oh,
it was a Beetle. The one with all the legs on it? No, it was a Volkswagen Beetle.
Think about that. Oh, the Lexus!
Alright, I'm gonna go now.
No, you're not allowed to drive this car. Get back in the passenger seat. I will put you in the back. Alright, let's go. Just like in the Grecale, this lower 8.8-inch touchscreen controls your climate settings, your seat settings, your headlights, a bunch of different things. So it default stays to the climate stuff. So I'm here with my ventilated seats. I am definitely not using my heated seats and heated steering wheel because it is very warm out today. You can set everything on this lower screen. Your volume scroll is on the right side here. It's also touch sensitive. Your headlights are here. I just put it on auto, leave it all alone there. This clock control is for up here, which is pretty cool. So I can make it display as a compass right there. I can show my brake power bias and also G-meter. And it does some other things. I think when I put my phone on the wireless charger, let me just right here, slide it in there. Right there, it shows that your phone is wireless charging. So it's a dash clock, but it's digital and it changes the multifunction, right? So kind of keeping with the much more modern trend. I kind of miss having an analog dash clock, but look at all these screens and everything in tech, so it kind of fits the character now. Right above that lower touchscreen are the buttons for park, reverse, neutral, drive. Was not a huge fan of these buttons in the Grecale, same thing here. They do let the interior down a little bit. They're not the most premium feeling, and you do have to look because they just all look the same. And anyways, obviously this is not going to be a subtle car, especially in this crazy yellow paint, but already attracting a lot of attention. I just parked here at Target, ran in to grab a couple little things, and had somebody drive by and go, "Nice Maserati, dude!" And I was like, cool, you recognize the Maserati. The Trident is fairly iconic, even though this is the newest GranTurismo. It still looks very familiar to the previous one. The styling definitely preserved a lot of the elements of the previous gen GranTurismo, which again, is a great thing because it looks so good. Since we're just on the freeway, I put the car into comfort mode, and it's, well, quite comfortable in comfort mode. Softens up everything. The shifts get a little bit lazier, it's quieter, but man, this air suspension and the dampers definitely make this a very, very comfortable ride. And that is the main goal of a GT car, a Grand Touring GranTurismo, right? Hence the name. It has to both be comfortable and fast to travel in speed, luxury, and comfort. It can't just be all out for performance. And I really think this car is one of the few ones that still really embrace that entire ethos. A lot of modern ones are really just straying much more towards the performance side. Look at the BMW M8 competition, right? That thing is pretty dang hardcore. Even the Aston Martin DB12 definitely leans a lot more on the supercar sporty side, right? They call it the world's first super tourer, which they're definitely trying to emphasize more than just being a pure grand tourer. The other thing would be the Bentley Continental GT, right? I think that still sits kind of right where you want it for a true GT car, but also costs a lot more money than this Maserati GranTurismo. Sun is starting to set. Let's take the Maserati up a nice canyon road to the mountain, get some nice scenic shots. Unlocks, DRLs turn on. It's really MC20 inspired from those headlights. You get the iconic Maserati front grille with the trident. And again, this paint is just unbelievable. I mean, if a paint is going to cost $30,000, it better look amazing. And the flake in this yellow and the depth is absolutely crazy. It's Giallo Corsa from the Maserati, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, Furo Siri. It's like the personalization program where you can do all these crazy different colors. 30 grand for a paint is definitely very expensive. But just look at it. Oh my gosh. It's unbelievable. The shades of blue, that blue flake in it, oh my god. It's like that MC20 paint that I had, the aquamarine, which is more grayish white with the crazy blue pearl, but this is yellow with that crazy blue pearl. We also have adjustable height air suspension. We're currently in the lowest aero mode, so I'm going to raise it to max ride height to get out of the driveway to ensure we don't scrape anything. The door handles are recessed, little touchpad underneath there. Opens up. Pretty long doors. Typically these big 2+2 luxury coupes do have long doors. All right, we're gonna tap this. We need to get ourselves into maximum ride height. Maximum ride height achieved. You know what? Let me show you guys what that looks like actually. That was actually fairly quick, but that suspension definitely raises up quite a lot. See the wheel gap up front now. So this is a maximum ride height on the GranTurismo. If you need to get over some curves or anything like that, quite a big difference actually. I like to call it monster truck mode because look at that wheel gap now. But that's what we want right now to get up a driveway. All right, time to have some fun. Just through a couple of turns in Corsa mode. We've got this drive mode Explorer that shows this diagram where everything is skewing. We're in the lowered ride height. A lot of turbo noises. Mid-range. That part reminds me of the MC20 shared engine. So nowhere near the sound of the outgoing naturally aspirated V8, but it trades it off for turbo noises and a lot of torque and a lot of power. This thing is quick. Like the previous gen always looked really nice and it sounded amazing, but it wasn't the best driving. This thing, total different character. That Nettuno V6 is pretty awesome in every single flavor I've tried it in. So I've driven it in the MC20 Cielo, this car, and the Grecali Trofeo. I found a couple cool details on the new GranTurismo. So as a Trofeo model, we have unique front and rear fascia. It's a little more sporty and aggressive than the base Modena trim. We have the quad exhaust tips, a little bit of carbon fiber there, a little rear diffuser too. The GranTurismo badge looks to be the same font. We've got a little carbon fiber lip back here, the updated taillights, and then we have the Trident badge over here. We talked about the door handles. The Trofeo logo here on the front fender has the red accents, and then we have the 3 vents, which is a signature Maserati styling touch, and you see the red accent there. The Maserati Trident also gets little red accent there to indicate this is the sporty Trofeo trim. Up here, this little fin houses a camera. That is what I assume is the rear view mirror camera. And then the front, they call it a Cofango. It's kind of like this giant hood bonnet combination. It's like over 3 square meters of material. Let me pop that and show you guys. Just pull that. This is an absolutely huge front hood here and extends down the sides onto the fenders. And the Trofeo badge actually sits on the hood itself. And underneath, we have the Nettuno V6, the 3-liter twin-turbo V6 It says powered by Nettuno, the Maserati Trident. It's a very compact engine too, which allows them to actually put it behind the front axle, which means this is a front mid-engine layout, which is much better for weight distribution, handling, driving dynamics, and so forth. So a very compact twin-turbo V6 down here under the hood of the GranTurismo. Go ahead and close that. See the sculpting here, have little vents right there. And then up front, the Maserati grille shape is pretty iconic with the Trident up front, the Maserati logo, and the unique front fascia, right? So it's a little more aggressive and sculpted, little carbon fiber piece there. The headlights, again, evoke the MC20 design, and inside the headlights, we have a little Maserati Trident and then a Maserati script, which is pretty cool. Good amount of carbon fiber on this. And then the side skirts are also carbon fiber right there. We have staggered wheels. They're 20-inch up front and 21-inch out back. And we have the matched yellow brake calipers, just regular steel brakes, no carbon ceramics on this car. This was another little fun detail I noticed. On the brake pedal, we have the Maserati Trident too. This one is optioned with the yellow stitching, the Trident on the headrest, and the contrast yellow stitching here on the seats. It gets perforated leather because it is a Trofeo trim, and it's got that herringbone design down the seats. Just like in the Grecali, this digital dash clock here is reconfigurable. So if we go down to the lower screen here, click on clock, we have classic, sport, and design, and we can change the way it looks. This is classic, here is sport, and here is design. Go back to classic, and we can also change it to show compass, pedals, or G meter. So right now that's the clock. We've got pedals, I'll give it some gas, see that, or brake. And then we have the compass, and then we have the G meter. Pretty cool. We'll go back to clock. And here's something else that's really cool. We're in Corsa mode right now, which means we can pull up the lap timer, and the clock here changes to ready, and I can start doing a recording. We'll press OK to start. You see on the right side of the screen is the lap timer information. Go. So now we have a lap timer mode in the middle. See, it's going there on the digital dash too. And if I want to do this, there's a lap. It shows your split too. So I can do that, and then I can run it again. The next one, I'll show you what it's like if you have a slower lap. So this is pretty cool. It's a reconfigurable little center digital clock. That's what it's like if you have a slower split time compared to the previous. So a lap timer built into the GranTurismo. This lower screen controls all your climate. That's what it defaults to, but also your headlight controls. Just have it on auto here. Your seat settings, the memory seat settings. You can control the bolsters and so forth. And ambient lighting where you change the temperature and brightness. But it always defaults back to your climate settings here. Cooled seats, heated steering wheel. You can also do this to change the temperature. Just like swipe on the corner of the screen, anywhere on the screen, and it'll change the temperature for you much more quickly than having to tap, 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 right? So just like swipe up and down like this. We've got this textured carbon fiber trim here, and the little storage cubby here has these barn doors that open up, wireless phone chargers underneath there, and we've got our cup holders here, but it's not just two cup holders, there's a third one. So this little thing pops out, and you have a third extra deep one if you have a tall beverage or something. And then we've got the GranTurismo logo right there, a little Italian flag. This is like a textured plastic trim. It almost looked like wood, but it feels like plastic to me. Otherwise, nice perforated leather, the yellow stitching, the metal speaker grills for the Sonos Fiber sound system. Down here on the door, electronic release, along with the emergency override is hidden down in there, that door pocket. All right, it is getting late. We're gonna head back down the mountain. I'm gonna come back up another day to do the dynamic driving review. Plenty more time left with the Maserati GranTurismo Trofeo. So that's cold start on the GranTurismo Trofeo. I noticed this when I was filming yesterday, but a yellow cart attracts bugs like crazy. They must think it's a flower. There are just little bugs all over. Oh, the valve's just open. So I put it in a Corsa, but these may be vacuum actuated valves, so they don't turn on immediately. They're not electronic. I'm not sure, but that sounds a bit better. But I definitely toggled it all the way to Corsa, and it was still quiet on cold start. Every time you get in the car, you hit accept before you use the main infotainment screen. CarPlay is already connected. The Nettuno V6 makes good power, but what it does not make is good fuel economy. So 14.6 mpg average, and we're running low on gas. So we're gonna stop by, get some fuel on our way home. Was out all day filming another vehicle. A little bit of traffic, but looks like it's clearing up. don't think I'm ever going to get tired of the yellow paint on this car. Yes, $30,000 is a eye-watering, staggering amount of money for an option, but it definitely suits this car quite well with the blacked out accents. The Trofeo model also looks a little bit more aggressive than the base Modena. You have a different front fascia, rear fascia, a little bit of carbon fiber accents there. And like from right here, you can really see that they just evolved the previous gen Gran Turismo styling, which is a good thing because the looks of the Gran Turismo have always been one of the best aspects. And the previous gen one, I just always loved the way that looks. And this thing, man, the proportions, the curves, just look at the curves of the fender right there. Over the front wheels, the very long hood. You see the sun hitting the corner of the paint right by that headlight and all that crazy blue flake. And then you got the curves over here over the rear wheels. We're going to head out, hit the canyons, and go do some filming. One super minor little complaint. The seatbelt is like really far back. It could have to do with my seating position, but if I reach all the way around with this arm, I still can't. I gotta pivot all the way, right? I'm really nitpicking here, but like that seatbelt's far back. That's why like some of these big luxury coupes, they have like that little seatbelt extender where it like kind of pushes out towards you so you can more easily put it on. This car does not have that. I think like the S-Class coupe has that. A lot of Mercedes, I think maybe some of the BMW two-doors have it too. Not in the Gran Turismo, so gotta just reach back there. That is such a, I guess that's a useful complaint, right? Like this is consumer advice. If you buy a Maserati GranTurismo Trofeo, be prepared to go to the gas station a lot because, boy, is this thing thirsty. So I can fuel up in like 3 days. So we are wrapping up our time with the GranTurismo Trofeo. I was surprised how much I like this. They did a very good job updating it. Driving dynamics are quite good for a luxury GT. It's definitely quite quick. The looks are still just so good. Just absolutely beautiful styling. The paint, $30,000 is very expensive for paint. It looks really nice, but I can't quite justify a $30,000 paint option. That is still just so crazy to me. It's pretty comfortable, just proper updates to the Gran Turismo. I'm definitely impressed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out my full review of the Gran Turismo, the Grecale Trofeo, and the MC20, the rest of the updated new Maserati cars I've driven. Thanks for watching.